Hello guys, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to yet another धमाकेदार फर्राटेदार and मजेदार session by Embibe. This is Pritesh, your host, your host and a proud educator, welcoming you to the bridge course. Yes guys, ये bridge course क्या है? तो ये bridge course आप जो grade 8 में अभी enter कर रहे हैं, आप सभी बच्चों के लिए एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन, amazing, informative and sneak a peek session है where I give you a rough glimpse of what all are you going to learn in grade 8. तो ग्रेड 7 में जहां हमने न्यूट्रिशन इन प्लांट्स, एनिमल्स, सॉइल, वाटर, एयर ये सब सीखा, वहीं पर ग्रेड 8 में वी आर फोकस इज गोइंग टू बी ऑन क्रॉप्स, on crop production, it is going to be on microorganisms, on human health, and it is going to be basically the first step to your 9th and 10th. So let me tell you one thing, कि आप जो भी ग्रेड 8 में पढ़ते हैं उसी का एक्सटेंशन, उसी का एडवांस्ड फॉर्म आप ग्रेड 9th एंड 10th में पढ़ते हैं. सो ग्रेड 8 में आपके कॉन्सेप्ट स्ट्रॉन्ग होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि वही कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपको ग्रेड 9 में हेल्प करेंगे. जैसे कि मैंने आपको एडिशन सिखा दिया, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई हैव टॉट यू एडिशन, एंड नाउ व्हेन आई मूव टू द नेक्स्ट ग्रेड आई विल नॉट टीच यू एडिशन. आई विल अज्यूम दैट यू नो एडिशन एंड आई विल टीच यू द नेक्स्ट स्टेप्स. जैसे आप नर्सरी में ABCD सीखते हैं एंड देन व्हेन यू गो टू जूनियर KG, सीनियर KG, यू लर्न वर्ड्स. क्यों? बिकॉज इट इज़ अज्यूम्ड कि आपने ABCD सीख ली है, यू आर गुड विथ अल्फ़ाबेट्स नाउ एंड यू आर रेडी टू लर्न वर्ड्स. सिमिलरली आपके ग्रेड 8 में वी विल बी टीचिंग यू कॉन्सेप्ट्स विच आर गोइंग टू बी अ स्टेपिंग स्टोन फॉर ग्रेड 9th एंड 10th. एंड इसलिए ग्रेड 9th एंड 10th में वी विल नॉट बी टीचिंग यू कॉन्सेप्ट्स, आई विल बी डायरेक्टली टीचिंग यू द फर्दर टॉपिक्स, है ना? तो इसलिए आपके ग्रेड 8 में आप कॉन्सेप्ट्स को बहुत ही ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग कर लीजिए, बहुत ही ज़्यादा पक्का कर लीजिए, एंड इट इज़ गोइंग टू बी वेरी वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर द फर्दर ग्रेड. उसी के साथ साथ गाइज आपको जो आपका ये ग्रेड 8 है, इसमें नो वंडर यू आर गोइंग टू लर्न सम न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट्स एंड न्यू टॉपिक्स, बट देन आई विल ट्राई माई बेस्ट कि मैं इसको जितना ईजी हो सके उतना ईजी बनाऊँ, और आपके लिए ग्रेड 8 की जर्नी I make it just like a cakewalk, right? So we'll be trying our best for that. And once again, a very warm welcome, guys. My name is Pritesh. You can follow me on my Instagram at Biology with Pritesh, where you can connect with us and we can talk about biology and a lot more. And also, guys, let me tell you about Embibe. तो ये Embibe क्या है? Embibe एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है which gives you unlimited, free of cost, immersive learning experience and interactive learning experience, where you get free access to test, assignments, study material, question solution, explanation to solution, books, reference books, NCERTs, and that too of any board, any grade, any subject, and in any language. So make sure that you visit the Embibe page, and you can also download the Embibe app, which is freely available on Google Store and Apple Store. इसी के साथ साथ guys, do connect with us on Telegram by scanning this QR code. Telegram पे ज्वाइन करने से आपको क्या बेनिफिट है? यहाँ पर आपको जो भी सेशंस यूट्यूब पर हो रहे हैं उनके PDFs मिलेंगे, जो भी सेशंस हो रहे हैं उसकी आपको अपडेट्स मिलेंगी. उसी के साथ साथ आप अपने एकेडमिक डाउट्स भी सॉल्व करवा सकते हैं. तो डू कनेक्ट विद अस ऑन टेलीग्राम. एंड आगे बढ़ने से पहले मेक श्योर दैट यू गिव दिस वीडियो बिग फैट थम्स अप, डू शेयर इट विद योर फ्रेंड्स इन स्कूल व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स एंड सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल बिकॉज इट्स एब्सोल्युटली फ्री, राइट? चलिए अब आगे बढ़ते हैं एंड वी टॉक अबाउट द ब्रिज कोर्स फॉर क्लास 8, राइट? दिस ब्रिज कोर्स इज फॉर एवरीबडी हु इज एंटरिंग क्लास 8, जिनकी 7th स्टैंडर्ड की फाइनल एग्जाम हो चुकी है और who are in the last leg of grade 7. For them, this is a very very important session. It's very informative. It will give you an amazing sneak peek into your grade 8 का science का syllabus, especially biology. So I'll be dealing with biology. Sushmita ma'am will be dealing with chemistry and Tushar sir will be dealing with physics. उसी के साथ साथ there will be Surbhi ma'am to deal with mathematics and Ankana ma'am to deal with your social studies. Let's begin. So we are talking about your grade 8 का biology का syllabus. So totally we have got 6 chapters: crop production and management, microorganisms, friend and foe, conservation of plants and animals. Then there is a chapter on water, management of natural resources, and then there is one more. So reproduction in animals. So totally there are 6 chapters for your grade 8. Now क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन एंड मैनेजमेंट क्या है? तो हियर वी टॉक अबाउट एग्रीकल्चर एंड एनिमल हस्बेंड्री. एग्रीकल्चर क्या है? एग्रीकल्चर का मतलब सिर्फ फूड प्रोडक्शन, सिर्फ क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन नहीं है. Agriculture means production of food and food products. So food comes not only from plants. आपने grade 6 में सीखा है that the source of food is plants and animals. So when I say food, it can be plants, it can be animals. And agriculture is food production, which means I deal with crops as well as I deal with animals, right? Now, it helps the humans to settle down and produce their own food. When nomadic people settled and cultivated lands, they produce rice, wheat and other crops. अब crop production start कैसे हुआ? So the early Stone Age man, he knew only hunting. The early Stone Age man, he knew that food can be derived only and only by hunting. So he used to hunt animals and eat. But what happens? What happened over the period of time? Animals का population कम होने लगा. And that is when he resorted to growing his own food in the form of crops. So it was a necessity. You know, English में एक saying है, necessity is the mother of invention. Whenever there is a necessity, you will invent something to fulfill that necessity. And similarly, crop production was a necessity, right? And that was invented because the animals started reducing in numbers. Now, when I talk about crop is a single type of plant which is grown on a large scale. And in India, crops are divided based on the seasons. You have got winter crops, summer crops and monsoon crops. Winter crops ko we call as rabi crops, जैसे your wheat, mustard. Then your monsoon crops are called as kharif crops, जैसे कि rice, maize. And your summer crops are also called as zaid crops, like your cucumber, muskmelon, watermelon, etc. Drag the plants that are cultivated for their seeds and drop them over to the seed pile. तो ये मेरी seed pile है. तो कौन से plants we grow for their seeds? We grow tomato for their seeds, है ना? तो उसको हम seed pile पे डाल देंगे. तो कैसे डालेंगे? एक सेकेंड. Yes, right? Then quinoa and rice. Are we right? No, we are not right. The correct answer will be corn, quinoa and rice, not tomatoes. ठीक है? So we will grow corn, quinoa and rice for their seeds, not tomato. Tomato भी actually ideally correct होना चाहिए because I remember that we had got tomatoes and हमने क्या किया, हमने बस वो tomatoes के seeds को soil में डाल दिया and we had a tomato plant and उसमें से छोटे छोटे tomatoes भी आए and we even use them. Tomato also should be ideally correct, but anyway. Now, rice, quinoa and corn plants are all used for their seeds. Okay. Basically, the question is, इनमें से कौन से plants के seeds हम खाते हैं? So we eat the seeds of quinoa, we eat the seeds of rice, we eat the seeds of corn. लेकिन whereas tomato का we eat the fruit, right? We eat the fruit. So one plant can give multiple food products. For example, if I take banana, तो banana का हम लोग fruit भी खाते हैं. Banana के we eat the flowers also. Banana का we eat the stem also. Banana का stem is used to make sambar, right? Then if I take mustard, तो mustard के leaves we use as सरसों का साग. Mustard के seeds are used as rye, you know, it is used as a spice. Mustard का oil भी seed से हम oil भी extract करते हैं, right? Then if I talk about drumstick, तो drumstick के flowers are used to make raita. Drumstick के fruits, that is the pod, it is used you know, as a sabzi. And when I talk about drumstick leaves, that is the moringa leaves, they have multiple purposes, right? But then I also have plants which have a single use, जैसे कि rice. तो rice के सिर्फ seeds use होते हैं, corn के सिर्फ seeds use होते हैं, है ना? So there are some plants जिनके multiple products आप use कर सकते हैं, and then there are some plants जिनका सिर्फ एक product आप use कर सकते हैं. Then we move on and we talk about steps in agricultural practices. So there are 7 different steps that a farmer undergoes to have a healthy harvest. सबसे पहला है preparation of soil. यहाँ पर farmer क्या करता है? यहाँ पर farmer अपने field को seeds receive करने के लिए prepare करता है in the form of plowing, tilling and leveling. And फिर वो seeds को sow करता है. लेकिन seeds sow करने से पहले it is very important कि seeds की quality check की जाए. So he does a quality check and then he sows the seeds. Now seed sowing करने का भी तरीका है. आप ऐसे randomly फेंक भी सकते हैं, आप एक एक करके भी डाल सकते हैं, या आप machines भी use कर सकते हैं. Then now it is time to add good nutrition to the seeds so that they germinate well, and that is manure and fertilizers. इसमें से manure organic है, fertilizers inorganic है. इनके क्या फायदे हैं, क्या नुकसान है, this will learn when we learn the chapter. Irrigation is supply of water. It is done in multiple ways. There are olden ways to give water, there are new modern ways to give water as well. This also we'll be studying in detail when we study the chapters. Weeds. अब weeds क्या है? Weeds ऐसे plants हैं जो बिना बात के मेरे क्रॉप के साथ ग्रो होना शुरू हो जाते हैं. They can be poisonous also. And even if they are not poisonous, they are something which I don't want in my field. मैंने इतनी मेहनत से इतना पैसा खर्च करके ये सारे प्रोसेसेस किए हैं. मैं नहीं चाहता कि कोई भी रैंडम प्लांट मेरे क्रॉप के साथ उगे और खाना, सनलाइट, वाटर वो सब यूज़ करे. तो रिमूविंग द वीड्स इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिफोर दे स्टार्ट स्प्रेडिंग, राइट. फिर सेलिब्रेशन का टाइम है, हार्वेस्ट का टाइम है. फेस्टिवल्स जैसे बैसाखी, पोंगल, ये सब, बीहू, ये सब सेलिब्रेट किए जाते हैं बिकॉज द 4 months ऑफ हार्डशिप इज़ ओवर एंड नाउ द फार्मर कट्स हिज राइप क्रॉप. लेकिन यहाँ पर फार्मर का काम ख़त्म नहीं होता है. हार्वेस्ट करने के बाद उसे थ्रेशिंग करनी पड़ती है, विनोइंग करनी पड़ती है, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप है स्टोरेज. क्योंकि अगर यहाँ पे कुछ भी गड़बड़ हो गई तो ये सब कुछ फेल है. So that is why it is very important that the farmer stores his grains very very efficiently without moisture in a dry area, clean area where there are no pests, no rodents, no insects, no microbes that will infect his harvest. क्योंकि अगर जैसे कि मैंने कहा, अगर स्टोरेज में गड़बड़ हुई तो ये सब कुछ फेल हो जाएगा, right? Then as I told you, all the different ways of doing the preparation of soil, which we'll learn in detail when we are learning the chapter. Now drag and drop the images to arrange them in the correct order in which they should be performed. तो यहाँ पर हो रहा है मेरा सॉइल का प्रिपरेशन. तो ये सबसे पहला. फिर आई विल सो द सीड्स, देन आई विल गिव वाटर, एंड फाइनली इज द हार्वेस्ट. सो दिस इज द वे इन विच द प्रोसेसेस शुड बी अरेंज्ड. Then, as I told you, crops in India are classified based on their season. So we have got Kharif crops which are based in the monsoon season from June to September, which means they are sown in June, harvested in September. जैसे कि आपका राइस, मेज, सोयाबीन. फिर आते हैं आपके विंटर सीजन के, अक्टूबर टू मार्च, ग्राम, पी, मस्टर्ड, व्हीट, लिनसीड, दे ऑल आर योर विंटर क्रॉप्स. एंड देन समर क्रॉप्स जो समर सीजन में आते हैं, जैसे कि दे आर सोन इन मार्च एंड हार्वेस्टेड इन जून, योर वाटरमेलन, मस्कमेलन, कुकम्बर. ठीक है. तो इन इंडिया वी बेस द क्रॉप्स बेस्ड ऑन सीजन. डू यू नो द वर्ड मॉनसून? इट कम्स फ्रॉम द अरेबिक वर्ड मौसम, राइट? मौसम से आता है मॉनसून. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग इट इज. नाउ आइडेंटिफाई एंड ड्रैग द टाइप ऑफ क्रॉप बिलो द इमेजेस बेस्ड ऑन देयर टाइम पीरियड्स द क्रॉप्स आर ग्रोन एंड हार्वेस्टेड. तो खरीफ यानी कि मेरा मॉनसून सीजन, तो उसको मैं यहाँ डालूंगा. ये है मेरा समर, तो उसे मैं यहाँ रखेंगे. एंड ये है मेरा राबी. ठीक है. So this is how crops are classified based on their seasons. And after crops, we learn about microorganisms, friend and foe. Animal husbandry भी है आपके crop production and management में, लेकिन अभी लेटेस्ट CBSE ने उसे हटा दिया था सिलेबस में से. एनिमल हस्बेंड्री में वी लर्न अबाउट हाउ वी कैन यूज़ एनिमल एंड एनिमल प्रोडक्ट्स फॉर फूड. जैसे कि डेयरी. डेयरी में है टेकिंग केयर ऑफ काउज एंड बफेलोज फॉर मिल्क एंड मिल्क प्रोडक्ट्स. देन वी हैव गॉट पोल्ट्री इन विच वी टेक केयर ऑफ चिकन्स फॉर देयर मीट एज वेल एज फॉर एग्स. देन वी हैव गॉट योर पिसिकल्चर where we rear fish for fish meat, fish oil, right? And then we have apiculture where we rear the honey bees for honey and bee wax. Okay? So dairy, poultry, pisciculture, apiculture, these are the 4 faculties of animal husbandry. And when I talk about microorganisms, friend and foe, first of all, microorganisms are such organisms which cannot be seen by naked eye, right? And that's why we need a microscope to see them. And they are found everywhere, whether it is volcanoes, whether it is deserts, whether it is polar ice caps, whether it is oceans, anywhere and everywhere we find the microbes. Ab, microbes are classified into 5 categories. We have got bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa and algae. बैक्टीरिया की अगर मैं बात करूं So bacteria are found in 4 different shapes: rod shape, that is bacilli; spherical shape, that is cocci; your comma shape, that is vibrio; and your spiral shape, that is spirilla. Bacteria, they can be single celled or mostly found in colonies. They can be autotrophic जैसे rhodobacter, or they can be heterotrophic जैसे E. coli. Bacteria are both harmful and harmless. Harmful bacteria में है आपका Mycobacterium tuberculosis या Salmonella typhi या Vibrio cholerae, and useful bacteria में है Lactobacillus, your E. coli. ठीक है. Algae. So algae is found in water. They are photosynthetic. They are green in color. They are also useful. जैसे कि spirulina के tablets डॉक्टर कई बार recommend करते हैं. Examples of algae are spirulina, spirogyra. They are filamentous, or they can also be found in the form of cells. अब फंगाई की बात करें तो फंगाई का न्यूट्रिशन मोड है सैप्रोट्रॉपिक, विच मीन्स दे फीड ऑन डेड एंड डिकेइंग ऑर्गेनिक मैटर. फंगाई इज मैक्रोस्कोपिक, यानी कि बिना माइक्रोस्कोप के भी फंगाई दिख जाता है, जैसे कि आपका मशरूम, ईस्ट, देन योर ब्रेड मोल्ड, दैट इज राइजोपस. ठीक है, बट जस्ट दे आर सैप्रोट्रॉपिक इन न्यूट्रिशन. प्रोटोजोन्स मोस्टली हार्मफुल, जैसे कि आपका अमीबा, पैरामीशियम. दे आर ऑल्सो मोटाइल, यानी कि दे कैन मूव अराउंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ सूडोपोडिया, सीलिया और फ्लैजेला. एंड ये हैं हमारे जिन्होंने हम सबको हिला के रख दिया, वायरस. दे आर ऑन द बॉर्डर लाइन ऑफ लिविंग एंड नॉन लिविंग, मोस्टली हार्मफुल, वेरी लेस यूजफुल. ठीक है, वी विल लर्न इन डिटेल अबाउट देम लेटर. नाउ microorganisms can be useful to make antibiotics, to clean the environment, to make alcohol, vinegar, or to make cakes, and bakery industry mein. So microorganisms can be useful to make curd, to make cheese. They are quite useful, and they can be harmful as well to cause diseases and food spoilage. Then friendly microbes are used, like bacteria, protists, and fungi to make curd, bread, cake, medicines, alcohol, wine, vinegar, as I told you. And harmful microorganisms, they cause diseases in both animals and plants. They also cause food spoilage, and they can be quite scary. We all know what coronavirus did to the world. So diseases which are caused by microorganisms can be contagious, can be non-contagious, जैसे कि TB या polio, they are contagious, whereas cancer, it's non-contagious. Connect friendly microorganisms with their respective functions. So yeast is used to make bread because yeast undergoes fermentation where it consumes sugar and releases carbon dioxide and alcohol and energy. So it is used to make bread, and whatever holes do you see in the bread and cake, it is all nothing but released carbon dioxide. Whereas bacteria like rhizobium and blue-green algae, they help in fixing nitrogen, and that is why they live in the root nodules of leguminous plants like peas, beans, etc. Then they don't only infect animals but plants as well, जैसे कि diseases like citrus canker, yellow vein mesiac in bhindi, and rust, and also they rust in the wheat. Then there are black rot. There are so many different types of diseases that happen to plants because of microbial attack, and that is why farmers resort to using fungicides, pesticides, insecticides to keep all kinds of microorganisms away. Then whenever a plant gets infected, as you can see over here, then it obviously definitely affects the plant health. It also reduces the crop yield, and then using that plant or using the products of this plant are nearly impossible. And that is why it's very important that we keep the plant in check and we don't let any microbial attack happen on the plant. जैसे कि आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं, दिस इज येलो वोन मोजियाक इन भिंडी, वेर यू कैन सी कि जो ओकरा है या भिंडी है उसकी लीफ पे ये येलो वेन्स आ गई हैं. दिस अगेन अ माइक्रोबियल इन्फेक्शन. ठीक है, हियर द व्हीट लीफ हैज डेवलप अ रस्ट लाइक कोटिंग, सो दिस इज रस्ट ऑफ व्हीट, right? And then obviously this is citrus canker which happens in citrus fruits. So microbes also cause food spoilage, and then the food becomes unfit for consumption. So it's very important that the food is preserved using physical or chemical methods. Physical methods include sun drying, freezing, chilling, canning, right? And your pasteurization, boiling, whereas your chemical methods include using oil, vinegar, sugar, sodium benzoate, sodium metabisulfite on the commercial level to preserve the food, right? Uh, Vinegar, oil, salt, sugar, as I told you, sodium metabisulfite and sodium benzoate are used on the commercial level to prevent food from spoilage. Then again, as you can see, sun drying, canning, these all are ways in which food can be preserved. Now, which of the following can help in preserving fish? Fish can be preserved using oil, vinegar or salt. So obviously it is salt. ठीक है? This is dried fish. Then conservation of plants and animals, and here we talk about forests. So complex ecosystem consists mainly of trees that support a huge number of life forms. So forest is an ecosystem in itself. Here you have got producers, consumers, primary consumers, secondary consumer, tertiary consumers, decomposers, everything in itself. So forest itself is a dynamic entity. It is an ecosystem in itself. The largest land ecosystem on the earth are forests. They are responsible for producing majority of the earth's oxygen. They are home to almost 80% of all the plants on earth, and they provide us with food, water, shelter and so much more. Rainfall is because of forests. The ecological balance is because of forests. Forests are basically the biggest contributors to health in on the earth. Then select a square around the group of objects that comes from a forest. Okay, so we get this is gloves, bubble gum, wood we get from forest. Yeah, all this is also bubble gum we get from forest, and this is also a type of a material that we get from forest. That's interesting. So see, latex gloves, latex we get from rubber tree, chewing gum we get from rubber tree, wood we get from trees. Whereas if you see the other ones, so here glass we get from sand. You know how glass is made? Glass is made by heating sand at a very high temperature. It melts to make glass. Then this is metal we get from the earth, and again this is also glass. Whereas over here also plastic, leather we don't get from forests. Then deforestation is the destruction of forests. It happens because of multiple reasons, mainly human reasons like mining and need of wood. इन सब रीजंस की वजह से अर्बनाइजेशन के लिए डिफॉरेस्टेशन किया जाता है टू make highways. They do deforestation, but nowadays there is a lot of awareness that is created, and people are actually coming together in large numbers to save even one tree. And now just cutting down a tree to make a road or to build something is not that easy. There has to be a lot of permissions that need to be taken from the government to even cut one tree. I don't know about other places, but here in Bangalore, each and every tree in the city is numbered. They literally put a number on the tree and they nail it. And if that tree goes missing, then the people who are living around that tree, they are answerable to the government that where did the tree go. You are not even allowed to cut a branch without the permission of the authorities. So especially in Bangalore, and I read so many stories of across the country where people come in large numbers to protect trees. So slowly and slowly, it is very positive that people are understanding the value of trees. People are understanding that how important it is to have trees around. So deforestation leads to decreased oxygen in that environment, increase in the carbon dioxide, again which leads to global warming because it's a greenhouse gas, increase in the pollution. You also get floods, droughts, rainfall just goes haywire, death of hundreds of animals and plants. So deforestation is the worst thing that you can do to an environment. Hi Samarjeet, very good evening, welcome to the session. So I was saying that deforestation is the worst thing that you can do to the environment, because as it is, you are doing a lot of harm to the environment by cutting down forests, by pollution. Now if you cut down the forest also, which means it's like blocking the nose and blocking the mouth and asking the person to breathe. It's like taking everything away from earth polluting it to its maximum and still expecting earth to give us a healthy lifestyle. Not possible, right? So it's very important that we do both. We reduce pollution as well as we increase trees. Only then we are going to have a healthy life on the planet, right? Because the planet is already doing as much as it can to give us a healthy life. Then causes of deforestation, as I told you, high demand for palm oil and soya plantation. So people are just cutting down trees and planting soya. Then again, pastures for grazing, urbanization and infrastructure. Settlements, it comes under urbanization and to build roads and highways. So ये तो बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है कि हाईवे बनाना है, फ्लाईओवर बनाना है, तो ट्रीज काट दो. सो भाई नहीं चाहिए, नहीं चाहिए हाईवे, हम थोड़ा लंबा ट्रैवल कर लेंगे बट ट्रीज को रहने दो, राइट? सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी टेक केयर ऑफ ऑल दीज थिंग्स. नाउ conservation of forests can be done by planting new trees, regulating cuttings, having control over fires, and proper management of the forest products. So the stakeholders of forests need to come together. They need to be super vigilant and they need to take care of the property that is theirs because they are the stakeholders. Select the pictures that show deforestation. So obviously this is deforestation and this is deforestation and this is deforestation. Yeah. Oh, I think we missed one. This is also deforestation, because this is mining. This is a kind of mining. तो ये भी deforestation है. ठीक है? चलिए. Then highlight the vegetation of this forest by dragging and dropping the word flora to the different types of plants. Oh, very interesting. So flora यहाँ पर है, flora यहाँ पर है, flora यहाँ पर है, flora यहाँ पर भी है. Rest the remaining are fauna. So flora क्या है? Remember floral यानी कि flower. So remember flora means all the plant species, whereas fauna means all the animal species. So all the plant species of an area are called as the flora and all the animal species of an area are called as the fauna. And as I told you, I'll give you so many tips and tricks. So flora, it is very similar to the word floral, which means flower. यानी कि फ्लोरा मतलब प्लांट्स. तो अगर एक प्लांट्स हैं तो ऑब्वियसली फौना विल बी एनिमल्स. ठीक है? चलिए. So again, when I talk about conservation of wildlife and forests, I deal with both plants as well as animals. So conservation of wildlife is equally important when I'm talking about conservation of natural resources. So wildlife can be conserved in sanctuaries, national park, biosphere reserve. Now what is the difference between a sanctuary, a national park and a biosphere reserve? This I don't want to scare you now by teaching. So we will learn that in detail when we go to that chapter during the course of time. Just remember one thing, biosphere reserve is a huge area and biosphere reserve के अंदर you can have a national park and a sanctuary as well. जैसे कि ये है पचमरी सेंचुरी, सातपुड़ा नेशनल पार्क, बोरी सेंचुरी, एंड दिस ऑल comes under a biosphere reserve. This all is a biosphere reserve, right? Drag and drop everything that is allowed within biosphere reserves in the empty box. So obviously human settlements are allowed, hunting is not allowed, and tribal people are also allowed. So no hunting, poaching and no cutting of trees. The remaining is allowed. So biosphere reserve can be a huge area जहाँ पे tribals are living, they have got their settlements, they are allowed to take wood which is fallen and little bit activities allowed. And biosphere reserve can house a national park as well as a sanctuary, right? So biosphere reserve is a very huge area. It's very interesting. We will learn about this in detail when we are talking about conservation in plants and animals. Okay. So guys, that is it. That is about all the out of 6, the 3 chapters of your grade 8 biology जो थे crop production and management, conservation of plants and animals, and microorganisms, friend and foe. There are 3 more chapters which we'll be learning tomorrow. This session of the bridge course is very important for the students who have completed the grade 7 or are in the last leg of grade 7, who are about to step into grade 8, because these sessions will give you a glimpse of what you should expect when you go in grade 8. Also guys, a very important announcement to make, that next Saturday I'm doing an exclusive orientation session for grade 6, for grade 8th, grade 9th and grade 10th. This session will include everything that you will learn in your grade 8th, 9th and 10th. It will include the all the information for all the subjects, how you're supposed to approach your upcoming grade, what all you should expect when you go in the next grade, how should be your study pattern, how much time you should devote to self study in a day, how much time you should devote to playing in a day, and what should be your mindset. It's a very important session, and I want all the students as well as your parents to attend this session, and you can ask your questions if you have, and it's going to be really interesting. So make sure that you come in large numbers next Saturday from 5 to 8. I'll be live and I'll be taking these orientation sessions, right? With that guys, we come to the end. Thank you so much for giving me your time, and I hope you guys enjoyed the session. Do connect with us on Telegram, do connect with me on Instagram at Biology with Pritesh, where you can interact with me, and hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure that you give this video a big fat thumbs up. Do share it with your friends and school WhatsApp groups, and subscribe to the channel because it's absolutely free. Also guys, do let me know in the comment section, what are you expecting when you move to grade 8, right? And until we meet next, this is Pritesh, your host, your dose, and a proud educator from Embibe, signing off for now. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed, and do not forget to keep imbibing. We believe in you.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.